All right, ladies first.
Thank you. Yeah, they're moving along super fast.
Hey, I'm on site today, and I'm super excited to bring you guys an interview with Layla Razakani. She is incredible when it comes to providing design advice for our clients when they're preparing their homes for sale. Layla is the CEO of Homemaker, and we're going to talk to her today about projects that we have in process, what it's like to prepare your home for construction, and what a seller who's thinking about making smart updates can expect. So Layla, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Would you mind giving us a quick overview of what Homemaker does?
Yeah, absolutely. So Homemaker, we have two divisions to our business, the design portion and the construction portion. Everything we do is extremely design-led. That's kind of our secret sauce. So we have a specific department in our business that focuses on homes for sale. We work with Brad at NextHome all the time to do that. And the things that we offer in that particular department are a little bit different than when we're working ground up construction or a total remodel. We focus on things that are quick hit and have a big ROI. So things like paint, flooring, and light fixtures.
Fantastic. And give us an idea, especially for clients of ours who may be watching this and trying to figure out what's the experience going to be like. Can you kind of walk us through, where does the process start? How long does it usually take? Give us an idea, a quick rundown of what the actual design and construction process is like.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is in big tech. So I was a project manager for about 10 years. So every single project manager on our team has a really high EQ. So they have high levels of communication. We like to communicate via text and video. So you'll get sort of video updates and text throughout the process. Process starts with a walkthrough in your home. Typically Brad and I and your realtor will be there, right? And we'll walk through, we'll give some recommendations. We'll summarize that for you so you have everything written up and you know what your plan is. You'll get some detailed pricing. And then once you've approved and Brad's approved, then we'll get to work based on our project plan. And during that process, typically no more than 2 weeks for a house to get ready for sale. And you'll get updates throughout the entire process.
All right, Layla, so let's go have some fun. Why don't we show our audience kind of what we're doing with this project behind us and go into some details. So why don't you take it away and let's rock and roll.
Absolutely, let's check it out.
So Layla, I know that we talked about doing something with this porch because it's a first impression item.
Totally.
So what did we look at and what are some solutions we kind of went through with the homeowner?
Yeah, so just like you said, Brad, the curb appeal is super important. This is the first thing that folks see when they're coming to visit their new home. So we immediately noticed that there's kind of an unevenness to this porch, right? It's hollow on the inside, starting to cave in. It's natural for a home of this age, but a really quick finish is we're going to use some concrete to rebuild a porch so it looks nice and fresh. And then we also looked at the paint. There's some wood rot, there's some age, there's some fading. So we'll put a nice fresh coat of paint and make some repairs so it looks really refreshed and clean for
because curb appeal is really important, and that's one of the things we definitely want to make sure a house has a great first impression when home buyers are walking up. Okay, wow, this is looking like a crazy construction zone in here. So why don't you tell us again what are the plans? That's a tall ladder. What are the plans and what's happening here?
Yeah, so sometimes it's fun for homeowners to change the colors on the inside of the house to your personal preference. For the sale of a home, we want a kind of clean canvas. So what we're doing is we're changing these grayish colored walls. They're a little bit dark. We're making repairs to the drywall, and then we're gonna have a fresh coat of Sherwin-Williams alabaster paint, and that's really bright and light. And we're repairing any sort of unevenness and changing the light fixtures to some really bright, energy efficient LED lights.
Because I can tell right away when she said alabaster that she's very enthusiastic about it. I have no idea personally what that color looks like, so I can't wait to see how light, bright, and incredible it is when it's finished.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, for the typical homeowner watching this, and seeing the light fixtures hanging out of the wall and the protection on the floor and the ladders looks pretty intimidating. But in reality, we're still just focusing on those cosmetic changes that are the least expensive, but provide for the biggest return on investment?
Absolutely, right? ROI is kind of how we're thinking about everything that is on the punch list before you go to market. So paint, flooring, and light fixtures are those top 3 items that we know just you get your bang for your buck there. So we're not gonna, open up the walls and rewire if we don't have to. That's not something a buyer is gonna notice, and it's not gonna make them emotionally connect with your home.
Yeah, and that's important too, because again, a typical homeowner looking to prepare their home for sale, we also want to make sure you're comfortable and that we're not trying to spend money just to spend money.
Absolutely.
We got to look at it as a smart way to return on an investment for you, so that when you're making these home preparations, that it's going to make a huge impact on the overall sale, what you can expect as a result from doing these smart home preparations. So tell me, what's the plan for our kitchen area?
Yeah, so in this home, we have really nice kitchen cabinetry. It's not necessarily the modern color, nice bright white kitchen that everybody stamps, rinse and repeat. Instead, we're gonna keep the cabinetry. We don't wanna spend a ton of money on the cabinetry because we'll kind of white everything else out. So it gives us a nice contrast in here. And then we'll change the hardware to something darker, a little bit more modern with cleaner lines to give that contrast to the rest of the light and bright house.
Another quick question. This looks highly functional to me, but is this something we're looking to keep and show off, or we're actually going to make a change because what are we trying to focus on right here in this area?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So oftentimes I will recommend to change these fan fixtures. While they're really great functionally for living in the home, it sort of distracts from the space and makes the ceiling feel lower than it actually is. So we want to maximize the light and the bright and the fact that you could have your family gathering in this dining room for a nice meal.
So Layla, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about what you guys do and how you make the process really easy for someone who's considering getting their house ready for sale and prepped. Can you provide your contact information where someone could reach out to you if they're looking or curious about getting some advice and taking on some projects around the house?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're Homemaker, and you can find us on Instagram, Homemaker HQ. You can also find us at 408-309-9595 or hello@homemaker.io.